Hi, this is Night Ram here with the Video Game Memorabilia Museum, and it's August 2012, but this video is going to air sometime in January when the Guinness Book of World Records Gamers Edition comes out. And I just had Guinness come through the house and count everything, and then they rearranged everything for photos. So I wanted to get you guys a look of what happens when Guinness comes to a collection and wants to take photos. So let's take a look through, okay? So this is the collection room as it stands right now. And as you can see, they took a lot out. What basically ended up happening was this bookcase moved over here, and they pulled that one out. So they had another bookcase over there. They moved the World of Nintendo cabinet out into the office. So I had the World of Nintendo cabinet in the office, just kind of sitting there. And it is a beast to move, I can tell you that. So they cleared that entire thing, and then they moved a ton of stuff and just kind of randomly placed things to fill gaps and whatever. And then they cleared this entire wall so they'd have room to shoot, and then they took the door off as well. So I have some photos of kind of what was going on. This is, they came back today, it was really great, and helped me reposition some stuff. So I didn't have to do it all by myself, but they can't really help with, setting it all back up as it was. So the only shelf that really wasn't touched much was the Zelda, Final Fantasy, and plushes. But all these plushes down here, they just kept adding plushes to wherever there was gaps over here. So they didn't really move this bookcase, or this bookcase, or that bookcase, but they had to fill, or I had to plug stuff in, like I moved the Mega Man mask over this thing because it was having a bad reflection for some shots, like you can see on the camera there. I had to move my Rockman 10 candies box cover thing over the megaman.exe thing so that I could block the reflections there. And a lot of stuff fell when they were moving stuff around and just positioning stuff, and people would bump stuff and I would bump stuff and stuff like that. But I mean, that's just the nature of getting a photo shoot. And they had a bunch of plushes on the floor, and they had like rugs and stuff for the photo shoot, and you'll see that in the book if you get that book. And then here's all the stuff that kind of didn't make it. They had to move. So the collection's really just a big mess right now. And you'll see some other stuff. This is my kids' playroom that I cleared out so they'd have some room to put all this stuff, thank goodness. So you'll see, like, there's their little kitchenette dealie. But the collection's just all over the place, and there's no rhyme or reason of where they put this stuff. And they, it went in, it went out. They wanted some stuff, and then they put some stuff out. So I mean, it's just this sleeping bag is full of plushes. So they just put stuff where they could because things needed to move fast for the photo shoot, because we only had one day to do photos. So everything is just a disaster. I'm going to have to go through all this stuff. But it's a really great opportunity to get a lot of the photos that I've been neglecting to get of this stuff. But again, it's one of those things where it's a setback for me, of course. It's going to take me all day to get this stuff at least back in the room, let alone get pictures of it. So I don't know exactly where to start, because as they were pulling stuff out, things kind of overlapped. So a lot of the things that were in the World of Nintendo case just got tossed somewhere. So it's all kind of, there's no real theme to how things were placed. So I'm going to have to go find it all if I want to get it back to where it was. But this is the whirlwind, this is the disaster, the catastrophe, the hurricane that came through that is Guinness, and helped me get my world record. With the count, they spent 2 hours counting. They went in the room and they got this little clicker. It says Guinness World Record, and That's all I heard for quite a while in that room. And there was 3 of them. I'm not going to reveal names or anything, but there was 3 of them, and they came in and they just started looking at shelves and clicking. So they called it kind of a rough count, and it's really up to the collector, really up to me, to get the official count. I'd have to, really with a collection, I'd want photographic evidence of everything in the collection, but Guinness will accept a spreadsheet that lists everything, which is kind of odd. But yeah, what I would want is really all photographic evidence of everything in here for the database for my website, videogamemm.com. But that's kind of the process that I went through. And they came in and did a bunch of photos, and it was really fun to pose with a bunch of stuff, and they were really great, and they really liked the collection, and that was really fun, and we had a good time, even though it was really stressful for me to watch all this stuff kind of fly out of here, and you know, of course, have other people touch the collection. I kind of handled the rare and the fragile stuff, just so, you know, they wouldn't feel bad if they dropped it or something, or I could have full control of the really rare and stuff. So I cleared the world of Nintendo cabinet for the most part. But yeah, it was a great experience. It was harrowing. It was stressful. I was anxious most of the time, but it was very good. And I think it was the best thing for the collection, because I've always wanted the world record. It was pretty obvious that I had it, and when they came in the door, they're like, yeah, we should have no problem getting the record, even with a rough count. So they estimated that there were, or with their count, they did 8,030 items. I know that there's more than that, but that's up to me, again, to confirm. And that's kind of something that they do, I guess, with collections. Guinness has something where they'll take a record and do a rough count, and then later, if someone challenges it, then the collector has some space to say, well, I've either bought this many things since the collection was counted, or that was the rough count, and I have an official count now. So that's something that I like that they did that. I mean, I kind of was disappointed the first day when the count was low and was rough. Like, I thought they'd take some time and go through it. But really, looking at a collection like this, it would take a lot longer than the time allotted that they had to go through something like this and actually get a piece-for-piece count. And that's kind of what I thought they'd do. I don't know why, because they didn't have enough time to do that, because they only had 2 days to come out here. And the first day was the count, which they whipped out in about an hour and a half. And then and that was just a visual count, essentially, is what they did. They came in here, looked at the shelf, and clicked when their eye spotted a new figure. And they tried to keep an eye out for duplicates, which they found very few, they said, in here. And that's accurate. There's very few duplicates in here. So, yeah, there's definitely a rough count. There's room for error, especially with 3 people doing it. There was a period in time where I asked one of them, how are they counting the boxed figures? Like, if there's 20 characters in a box, does that count as 1 because it's a box, or is it more? And one guy said he was counting 1 box of figures as 1, and the other guy said he would count the figures inside the box. So there's a little discrepancy there with the count. So I know that there's more. I mean, I'm happy with that 8,000 number. That's a lot of stuff. But I know for a fact that there's more. So don't worry. If you saw the record and said, that's it? There's more stuff. There's a better count maybe coming in the coming days. But it's been really exciting. I have to say thank you to Guinness for coming out. That was an amazing opportunity for me. And it was really great to see them come out and count and just have the whole regalia of the Guinness Book of World Records come out and count your collection and acknowledge it as something that is amazing. So thank you, Guinness, for that. And that was the discombobulated room tour for January 2012, and this again is August 2012. So thanks for listening to my rambling here. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off and get started getting this room back together. See you later.